guys, I'm Ethan,
And I'm Stacy.
and we're the
Branom
Branom family. And I just want to thank y'all very much for tuning in to our first video and coming along with us on our journey. On this channel, you'll see us go through our weight loss program, fitness, and reaching our goals as we go throughout life. And you'll get to see as our family grows and how everything goes in the process. So a little bit about ourselves. We live in the beautiful and hot state of Louisiana. I moved down here about 8 years ago from Oregon, and I was lucky enough to meet this girl when I moved down here. We have two beautiful daughters, Piper and Lily. They are twins. They're 3 years old right now. I currently work for an oil field company here in town. It's a good 8 to 5, Monday through Friday job. And I'm lucky enough that with my schedule, it permits me to be able to go to the gym twice a day. I go once in the morning before work and at lunchtime.
And I'm a stay-at-home mom with those two wonderful little girls, who it's hectic from time to time, but, so when he gets home, I go out to the gym, and I also work out during nap time to just try to get as much time in as I can, because we also don't want to take away from family time.
No, none whatsoever. So like I said before, I grew up in Oregon. I grew up in a small town, Ontario, Oregon. Shout out to my guys back home. Back in that day, I was active. I played football. I wrestled. I did track. But during that time, when I was in high school, I was also at my heaviest weight. I topped out at 440 pounds. One day, my brother took me to the gym. He's like, no, we're done with this. We're taking you to a gym. And a good friend of ours, George Harrington. And I got on a scale, and when that number popped up, it was just astonishing, shocking. I didn't even fathom that I could get that big. And playing football, being a lineman, I thought, hey, the bigger the better. I had the nickname in high school, Big E. I carried it around with pride. I always thought that it was something. It was great to be that big man, that big man, When it came down to it, I noticed that I had started, more than just started, but actually had developed sleep apnea. I was not getting a good sleep at night. My body was hurting. Even at 16, 17 years old, you're not supposed to feel that kind of thing. So during that summer, when Gerald and George took me to the gym, I ended up losing about 380, 375, if I remember correctly. And progressively throughout the year, this would have been my senior year in high school, I slowly started losing the weight. When I went to college, I actually went to culinary school, Le Cordon Bleu in Portland. By that time, I believe, if I remember correctly, I was down to about 350. And going to culinary school, you would think that, all we're doing is eating and everything, which food was a little scarce back in those days, but we still managed to party it up. We drank a lot, which didn't help with that at all. By the time that I had left Portland and moved to Louisiana, I was roughly around 340, 330, and that's when I had met Stacy here. During that time, I continued to just live my normal lifestyle. I mean, I would chug a 2-liter of Fanta like it was nothing in a night. No big deal. I didn't really worry about portion control even then, or even back when I was at home. Because even when I was back home, it would be nothing for me to wake up, eat breakfast at home, go to school and eat breakfast there, lunchtime, get a big double lunch, go home, eat dinner, and then go across the street to my brother's house, eat a big meal there as well. Food was a comfort thing for me. And then one day, I kind of decided, all right, it's time to really start making a difference with my weight. I know that it didn't affect her. We love each other for personality. We knew from day one, this is it. This is the person that I want to be with, just strictly off of talking to each other, knowing each other. But I always felt that I could do better by myself for her. I started to lose weight gradually. I made it to 300 pounds, and I was like, yeah, I hadn't seen 300 pounds since probably freshman year in high school, maybe 8th grade. And I would dwindle down. I started to change eating habits slightly. And then about a year and a half ago, I decided I'm going to focus on this hard. And I ended up getting down to 228. And the reason for that is I was working a kind of a stressful job, long hours. It was a lot that was put on me. And she'll even testify that part of it would have been because of the stress of the job. When I finally got out of that mindset of I need to get out, I started to put back the weight on. I started drinking a little bit more. I didn't really care about my portions. I would just pretty much eat whatever I wanted. And I gained back about 60 pounds with over a span of 7 months. And now I have decided again that, this is it. This is the time. So far, things have been going quite well for me. And you, sweetheart?
I grew up in central Louisiana. I didn't grow up in where we actually live. Crazy, normal childhood. I was a lot smaller then. I still wasn't a small girl, but in high school I had probably about a size 14 pants. The heaviest now that I ever was. Our wedding dress was probably a 16, I want to say. Funny story about my wedding dress. I had to be sewn into it. Not because it didn't fit, but because it was a corset dress. And my mom had it altered, and the lady sewed the corset part that you're supposed to, the elastic that you're supposed to pull to shut it, together. So I couldn't close it. So the very bottom had like this much of an opening. The very bottom, where my butt was. So I was 15 minutes late because I had to be sewn into the dress. Again, not because it didn't fit. It fit perfect. It was beautiful. It just wasn't the way it was supposed to be anymore. So now, 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago, we've been trying to have a baby, and we went to the doctor, and she sent us to an infertility specialist because we've been trying for, at the time, a year, and then by this point it was like 2.5 years. She diagnosed me with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. There are a lot of different symptoms. There's 4 basic categories that they call it. The one I have, they all have pretty much the same basic line symptoms, but the one I have, I researched because I couldn't remember. So it's been 4.5 years. Okay, so what I have is it affects your fertility, basically. So one of the reasons I couldn't have a baby affects your period. It affects some people. I luckily didn't have it. Get cysts on their ovaries. They have really painful periods, acne, hair. Some women grow hair in places they're not supposed to because PCOS makes you have a higher level of a male hormone called adrenogenes, I think is how you say it. And it's a male hormone, and you produce more, so you get, quote, testosterone to help out. You get more male features like growing hair on your face. It is genetic. Also, I'm the first one in my family to be diagnosed with PCOS, but my mom, my grandmother, my aunt, 2 of my sisters, and niece all have been diagnosed with endometriosis, which is scar tissue on your ovaries. So we went and she told us that one thing to do is lose a little bit of weight. They tell you that all the time. When you're overweight, lose weight. That solves everything. Lose weight. It doesn't. But in our case, she also put me on medicine, metformin. Pretty sure is how you say it. It's I take it twice a day, and I started exercising. I started riding a bike every day. Killed me because it's hot. But I did it. 4 months later, found out we were pregnant. Happiest day of our lives.
After the doctor telling us there was a strong possibility that we might never have kids.
Yes, because of PCOS. So
it was a fantastic day in the local Books A Million store where she had worked at the time.
So, yay, no more exercise for me, right? It's not for a little while. So, 9 months went by. Everything, they came out at 13 weeks. We find out we're having twins. Total shocker.
Oh, I was standing in the...
Shocker.
Everybody in her family...
They cursed me.
They kept saying, "Oh, you're gonna have twins." We'd first gone to her regular doctor, and he was like, "You feel a little big for 13 weeks. You're either further along than we expected, or it might be twins." And I'm like, "Whoa, buddy, whoa, hold on." We actually ended up driving over to her cousin's practice, and she put the machine on her, and she's like, "Yep, there's two in there." Like immediately, two, and I'm just standing there, just. She had to shake me like, "Hey, you okay?" I'm like, "Whoa, yes, I'm fine."
And we were freaking out because, you don't expect it. You never expect a twin. And so we were prepared for one, money and all that. We were prepared for one. You can't be prepared for two. You can't be prepared for one, let's be honest. But it's a lot harder to be prepared for two. We have them beautiful. We're so super happy to have them. Couldn't imagine it any other way. No. They love each other. They hate each other. They love each other. They hug each other. They fight each other.
They're kids. They're toddlers.
Kids. They're 3. 3 and a half. They were 3 in December. We went to the doctor, and
last year.
I'd gained a lot of weight. When I had the girls, I was at 190. That was my 6-week checkup. That's what came. I lost weight with them. It wasn't intentional. Just they were sucking the life out of me. So I lost weight. So I was 190. From then until now, I've gained 40 pounds.
Yeah.
40 pounds. But I didn't suspect anything. I go to the doctor. We have our yearly checkup, and she said that my TSH levels were high, like super high. I said, "Well, what does that mean?" She said, "Well, let's run some more tests. We're going to put you on this medicine and run some more tests in a couple months. You have hypothyroidism." That means that my thyroid, which is a butterfly thing right here, doesn't work properly. It underworks. So it doesn't produce a hormone that I'm supposed to. So, in turn, it overcompensates by producing the other hormone that I'm supposed to. If I understand it correctly. I'm not a doctor, so don't quote me on that.
No, we have no PhDs.
No PhD. Which, one of the symptoms is weight gain, infertility. I'm exhausted all the time. No motivation. I do normal things, but no overdoing things. I don't want to exercise. Causes sleep problems. I'm tired all the time. Not just tired, physically exhausted all the time. I shouldn't be. I do take care of 3-year-olds, don't get me wrong. But they pretty much take care of themselves in the sense of they play and they do with each other. So I shouldn't be as exhausted as I am. All of that is part of the hypothyroidism. The main thing to concentrate on, though, is the weight gain. But I don't feel good. And I want to feel good. And I want to feel pretty. And I want to feel sexy. And I don't feel any of those things. So that's why I started the journey. That's why I started to go to the gym and exercise and be here for my girls for as long as we possibly can.
And that's, I think, is the main thing, is to show our girls that you can have a healthy lifestyle. Yes, you do have to do a little bit of extra work to get to where we want to be. For others, who have reached their goals already. They just have to maintain. So a little bit about our dietary lifestyle. About 5 years ago, actually, before we got married, my grandmother, my mother, and my wife here went on the ideal protein diet. Amazing results for my mother and my grandmother, but for some reason it didn't work as well for Stacy. You were on it for what, 3-4 months?
Yeah, so maybe longer, but yeah, sounds about right.
About that. And I personally saw that the ideal protein was a good idea. High protein diet. I'm a man who love meat, I like protein. I decided to take the ideal protein way, but modify it myself a little bit. Like I said, I go to the gym twice a day. So in the morning, I'm usually having a banana and I down a liter of water before I go to the gym. Once I am done with the gym, I'm at work and I'm able to make a little breakfast. Usually I have 2 eggs, a piece of sausage, and I have my protein shakes. I go back to the gym at lunchtime, and after that, back to work. I have my lunch, which is more protein again. Light carbs, actually. It's usually no more than like half the palm, my size hand of rice and vegetables. I eat a lot of broccoli. Come home for dinner, and when we make dinner, we make, I guess you could call it normie food for the girls. They have their hot dogs or spaghetti, tacos, whatever we're making. But on certain dinner nights, I'll modify it to make it for myself, also which I'm trying to do for her.
But I'm picky, and I don't eat anything.
Very much so.
Which is strange, considering I am so big.
For her hypothyroidism, it's certain things that would be great for me are not good for her. Like, according to her research, she shouldn't be eating broccoli or any kind of plant-based like that, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, things like that. So we're finding different ways to modify her diet for that, which right now I would say you're doing normal foods, but
portion control.
Very much portion control, and she's doing amazing at it. Some things that you have to give up. I drank beer quite a bit. Orange Fanta is my favorite soda, so I loved Orange Fanta, and especially now in the summertime, sun tea. I would drink a couple gallons of sun tea, lots of sugar in that. But it's giving up those specific things that you love, but you do it because you know it's going to be better for yourself. A lot of what I'm trying to do is high protein, very low carb. I cut out pastas, breads. Well, that's not 100% true. Wheat bread, like whole grain bread, definitely, but in very moderation. A lot of nuts, almonds, those protein packs that they have with the meat and cheese and nuts in it. And I make them at home myself for a pre-workout snack, just to have something extra. But it's a lot of veggies, proteins, things like that. And like we said, for her, it's portion control right now, because getting her to eat certain foods,
I'm picky.
It's all about taste for her, as she loves her salt, which we know
it's not
that
good for you. I know.
now because that extra salt retains that water weight and holds it in your body, but moderation, and that's the key here.
But apparently, hypothyroidism is you need iodine. So, I don't know. Gotta talk to the doctor about that.
That's it. Which we go back for our checkups in another month and see how we're doing with that. Get our progress checked.
I gave up soda. I gave up ice cream, which is killing me. I've been drinking lots of water. Way more water than I've ever drank before. Really haven't had anything sweet. Every night he does celery, peanut butter. His aunt's on a log. And I do apples and peanut butter as our snack to kind of get us through to the next day, since we are eating less.
Which is working. It really is. It's a very light snack. It's just something that I learned from the Ideal Protein people, that you have a little bit of protein, something in your body to digest, so it's not eating away at the extra muscles that you might have gained throughout the day. So every week we're going to be posting our weight loss, our measurements. We're going to measure ourselves, weigh ourselves. And one thing that I'm highly stressing between us is that it's okay if you haven't lost anything during that week. This is a lifestyle change that we're making. You don't want to get downhearted because you might not have lost even a pound, but every little bit of loss is one step closer to the goal that we're trying to achieve. As long as we keep at it, we know we're going to see positive results. Just don't get downhearted about the results. Keep a positive attitude with everything that we're doing, and we know that we'll reach our goals. So our goals that we've set for ourselves, this is kind of the first step that we have. My first goal that I would very much like to do is get down to a size 40 pants. I think it's a realistic goal that could happen within the next couple months, easy. My next goal is also to be down to 215 pounds. I was almost there one time. I know that it's achievable again. And it's not only just these goals that we have set, but we have little milestones throughout that we're trying to achieve as well. And for you, sweetheart?
I want to get under 200. That is my first major milestone, or my major goal. Once I get there, we'll reevaluate and we'll go from there.
We are also going to be uploading every 30 days a front-facing and profile picture of us to showcase our products of what we've done for that month. All right, so weigh-in time. So week 1, weigh-in. So 264 pounds. 228.
It's exactly 49.
All right, so
if you want it like that.
All right, so 49. So 43 and a half. 42 and a quarter. So 40 inches. 46 and a half. 46 and a half. 45.
44.
44. 50. 24 and a quarter. 27 and 3/4. No, if I was supposed to my cap, I'd be doing that. 18 and a quarter.
Lularoe.
17. 14 and a half. So 14 and a half, so same. All right. 12. 10 and 3/4. So there's our weigh-in for the week and measurements. That's our fur baby over there. I really want to thank all of you for tuning into our first video and joining us on this journey. The question that we'll leave you with is, what are some of the goals that you want to reach? We're very curious to hear from you. Leave a comment down in the bottom section and we'll get back with you. Please be sure to like this video and please subscribe to our page. We really hope that y'all enjoyed this. Have a good night, guys.